Hello, my name's Deuce Dan, and this is our first snapshot for my Vampire the Masquerade game, Blood on the Streets, a campaign set 2 years after the fall of London in 2014. The snapshot will be dealing with the events revolving around the coterie 8 years after the Session Zero. And they will be confronted with the very real and very present threat of the Second Inquisition. The Second Inquisition is the name it will be known by in the future, but for now it is simply Operation Antigen, a program led by Ishak Khan, who became aware of kindred influence in the police and wanted to root it out. Sometime later, as his efforts became more and more successful, in an attempt to stop him, a kindred very, very much against Queen Anne's orders decided to kill and embrace Khan's children in an attempt to break his spirit. This had the opposite effect, as it galvanized the faithful and devout Muslim and turned him from a resourceful and determined officer into a holy warrior of his lord. The Second Inquisition is an appropriate name, because it's led by a holy warrior, and his faith is true. Now, we start in the year 2012. Like I said, 8 years after the events of Section Zero, where they destroyed a Sabbat gate. There would have caused some problems, and the camera fades in on an apartment, and we see Lucy and Jen. What are you two doing right now? What are you doing since you've retired from the police force, I do believe? Yes?
Yeah, by this point, I think Jean's been working as like private security. She's probably got herself a very cushy job, just in like a local firm.
Lucy is probably like chilling in the couch with a laptop. In the laptop screen, you just see stock numbers. Just casually playing the stock market.
Nice. And we watch as these two kindred go about their lives for a little bit. So, and as time progresses and the evening goes on, Lucy, you get a notification. It's an email, and it's marked as urgent.
I obviously check it.
It's from your contact in the ECTU, and it just says, "They're coming, run."
Is Jean still in the apartment?
Yeah, probably.
And after that, it just says, "I'm sorry."
Love, let's grab everything we can and let me see if I can charter a flight to, I don't know, Norway? You feel like visiting Norway?
What's going on?
You notice
Like,
that
already
there
grabbing
is
things.
yeah. You when you read the email, there is a little box that pops up and says and basically tells you that this email has a read certificate and asks if you would like to send notification that you've read the email to the person that sent it. Your contact normally does this. It's normal behavior from them. They normally want
Yeah.
to make sure you've got
I'm gonna hit no and whip up a real quick strip that just sends it in about an hour.
All right then. Okay.
Jean's just gonna prepare like the suitcases, just throwing like handful of clothes into each, and
Real quick, love. We don't have much.
Okay.
yeah, I'm trying. Zip up the suitcases and head into the hall.
And as we watch these kindred frantically grab their possessions, the camera cuts to outside the apartment block. And we see several black SUVs pull up out the front, and people begin to get out, clad in body armor and carrying automatic weapons. They move with the efficiency of militarized police. The camera pans up, so we hear the whoop, 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 whoop of helicopter blades as helicopters approach.
So I guess first question is, can I charter us a flight to I don't know, Norway from a private airport that doesn't do any checks?
You're smart. You know what the Second Inquisition. You know what the Second Inquisition, or Operation Antigen rather, has been doing, and you know that the airport and the London Underground is very compromised right now.
Right, that's why I'm not going to like the airport. I'm going to like a little private like flying field.
Oh right, yeah, because like,
there's like
every
like dozens of them.
Pardon, sorry?
Yeah.
There's like dozens of them around the south of England.
Yeah, because every kindred that has tried to use the London Underground to escape, or tried to use like Heathrow Airport or whatever, they've been.
She definitely would not be going to Heathrow.
Yeah, every single kindred that has disappeared.
That's also why I picked Norway. It's relatively close.
Is Heathrow the London airport, or is the London airport the London airport? Don't know. I don't actually know about
Heathrow is the massive airport in London.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I wasn't sure. Just wanted to check. So yeah, like Heathrow and other official places like that are very
private jets normally don't leave from places like Heathrow.
Yeah. So in that case, yes, you can charter a flight. Whether or not you'll get to that flight is yet to be seen.
I think once she does, she just looks over and says, just one bag and let's out the window and some jumps.
Jean will like stuff your bag into your arms, hold this, and then like one arm on her own suitcase and one arm around Jean. She'll like lift open the window and just
as you do that, she says, "Should I warn the others?"
When we're not being chased, love.
Okay.
And with that, we see them run off, out, presumably out of the apartment, and we cut to the other side of town. It's a busy night at the Succubus Club, and there's loud music. It's a 90s theme night, so we've got S Club 7 blasting away, and further in the back, as the camera moves through, we see waiters and waitresses all dressed in very suggestive attire, all very beautiful people, all very seductively dressed and very
It's the panning shot from Goodfellas. The single take as they go through the restaurant.
Yes, absolutely. Oh yeah, definitely. But we pan through. We see a a young, very, very beautiful man in a dress taking pictures, telling the staff to make this or that pose, and we sweep past him, and we finish on Lauren, who is.
I'm actively in the process of choking someone out because I'm here on waste cleaning detail.
Oh right.
So I'm in like the back alley outside, actively
and
choking someone out as the camera pans in.
yeah.
And
in
may I add something?
Yeah.
And there's a man who looks like he got pulled out of the 1930s in terms of attire, just smoking a cigarette at the front of the alley, making sure nobody is seeing this.
Yeah.
This gentleman who you're choking and waste removing, he may or may not have stumbled across a particular basement room in this club that people really don't need to know about.
I'm also, because this is not the first time I've done this, I also have a bottle of rum in my other hand that I'm periodically splashing over the guy's face once he's unconscious, so that when I then drape him over my shoulders, anyone looking at him will think, oh, he's just been a bit on the lash a bit too much.
Fair enough.
And he looks over his shoulder. You done yet, love? As in
there is a quiet professionalism to this. We should be here and done quickly. We have a client who is expecting deliveries.
I just love the mental image of you just with your hand over his mouth and nose while you're just casually talking to someone like nothing is going on.
Oh yeah, no, she's just like, this is her third of the evening.
Oh yeah, this has been happening for 8 years. 8 years. I'm pretty sure this is just order of operations at this point.
Have you got? Give him something incriminating so that if anyone finds him, there's something else going on.
Timothy pulls out like one of those tiny little revolvers that you put in like a waistcoat pocket, which are almost definitely illegal in the UK.
Oh, any kind of pistol is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't sell handguns to civilians.
Yeah, so she'll do that, and she will make a point to rub off any prints on it because she's currently she's not wearing like rubber gloves, but she's just wearing soft gloves.
That's the good thing about being kindred. We don't leave prints.
That's true.
Yeah, because you don't sweat, so you don't have the oils or anything to make fingerprints.
Yeah, so she'll be sort of just having him on like sort of one arm behind her shoulders, so like trying to prop him up as if he's passed out, and they're taking him home.
And then as you like walk by and he's matching step with you, he basically turns to you and goes, "So I've been experimenting with my newfound powers, and I do believe this will become very useful." And he hands like a glass vial with a cork stopper in it, and inside is a swirling crimson mist. And basically he says, "That is a paralytic gas that should affect mortals and vampires alike. Be very careful with it."
Lauren actually does stop at that, just very quickly looks around. They are in a back alley of the club, but it's just like, are you fucking insane? Don't say that out loud.
You just see the blinking red cam in the alleyway, which luckily Joey disabled.
It's one of those. It blinks to make it look like it still works.
Oh yeah, he basically. This is at a time where he's like, basically looks around and goes, "We're in a relatively safe place. There's nobody around. That guy's
Remember the crow."
You're never gonna let me live that down, are you?
Of course I'm fucking not. You completely botched that one. Now come on, let's go.
And we pull back into the club. And what is Joey doing? as the staff are going about waiting on people, and Josiah is sitting in one of the empty booths, just working on the paperwork.
I will say, just as we're leaving, just as it pans back to Jory, he'll get a text saying that the exterminators have finished their job and the rats have been taken care of.
Then I'd be heading to my sire and being like, the private information that was exposed has been taken care of by the exterminators.
Ah, good. I do love that I can always count on you.
That's good. No problem. Well, you do allow me to use that space for my endeavors. If only the person that found it here had met the requirements. Yeah, shame.
She goes to say something else, and then her attention is caught by a bit of commotion at the front, and she turns, and a group of people walk in, all clad in business suits, all clearly packing, and their suits are bulky, like they're wearing. Yes.
Oh, I was just wondering if Timothy saw this.
You're in the back alley.
You're in the back alley, so you wouldn't see anything quite yet. And these people come in and they start scanning the area. And when they notice you and your sire, one of them points to different areas of the club, and then they themselves walk towards you, and they just say, and they, what's your sire's name? Sorry.
Anna Smith.
Yeah.
She's been alive forever, so she always goes with when she has to change her name, she always goes for something really generic sounding.
Yeah. Miss Smith and Mr. Whispers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I am from the IRS, and we have been trying to contact you for some time regarding some inconsistencies in your tax filings. And I was wondering if you would care to step into your office so we can discuss matters more privately.
I've never seen the IRS so hacking, looking at the other gentleman.
London is a violent place, he says.
No, my sire.
Now please, step into the office. And your sire leans back, and she is suddenly more alluring, more captivating. You find it hard to pull your gaze away, and she just says, "Now surely we can discuss things more civilly here. Come, join me." And the person, it looks hesitant, but then sits. The other people look concerned, and one of them begins speaking into a radio. And then we cut back to Lucy and Jen. So, you've made it out of the apartment. Where are you going? You have helicopters flying above.
I give her the address, and I think we're just jumping roof to roof.
Fair enough. So, as you're running from one roof to the next, you see the helicopters coming closer and closer, their searchlights. Haven't managed to get a focus on you properly yet because you're too fast, but they're hedging you.
Shadow cloak to help hide, so it'd be a bit harder to spot.
Yeah. Which is why they haven't found you yet, but
Hmm.
they are getting close.
Sure. Yeah. If we drop to street level, we might be able to just blend in,
Mm-hmm. It's possible.
assuming we're far enough away.
It's possible, but
Um,
you don't know how many plainclothes officers there are walking the streets.
I mean, actually, I do, but
You did.
uh,
It's been a few years now.
yeah. I mean, police cuts. It's not as if
Yes,
they're yeah.
that's true.
Um, ah, okay. Liz, what do you think? Should we drop down or continue like this? I mean, I can do this all night, but
I mean, whichever one's faster, I guess. You know where we're going, right? It's the one over there.
yeah, I know roughly. Might be faster to steal a car.
Maybe.
You maybe text the others, let them know. We won't be around for a while.
Yeah, if they're coming for us, though, maybe I should give them the courtesy.
Sure.
Lucy will send a text saying, probably going out for a bit, won't be back for however long a vacation takes. Y'all should be careful of suits.
What's your larceny like, actually? What's your larceny like? Can you steal a car?
Depends. If it's a modern car, which I can use tech to larceny it, yes.
Modern cars are no good for me.
Then no.
Fine.
That's my larceny.
Right, okay. We're such upstanding citizens.
That's why the police are after you. They want to know how you.
I mean, if we see someone with a taxi, I should have enough resources that I can just give them $100 pounds and just be on our way.
Okay.
We don't have to steal the car if they're willing to drive us.
Yeah, I mean, we'll keep jumping until we get out of the immediate area. Like, I want to get I don't know, like half a mile away or something. And just avoid the helicopters as best I can.
I'm going to drop your one level from 5 stars to around 3. You want to drop your 1 stars from 5 stars to around 3?
Yeah.
So, does Timothy get that text?
Presumably, yes. Yeah, as
I send it to everyone.
Right.
Yeah, and in that case, Lauren will actually look at it. Still holding the guy, just like look up.
I open up my flip phone and I go. I read the text, immediately snap the phone in half because it's a burner phone, and just look to Lauren and go, "Let's ditch all the tech, shall we?"
I was looking for an upgrade anyway. Just crushes it and then tosses it. There's some cans of petrol in the boot. I reckon once we're finished with our extermination duties, we'll probably torch the car as well.
As if on cue, when you say there's cans of petrol in the boot, Timothy, you see from the end of the alleyway that opens onto the street, 2 black windowed SUVs drive to the entrance and stop, and people begin getting out.
at that point, Timothy quickly basically does when in the Captain America movie where Steve and Black Widow are like pretending to kiss and all that?
Yeah.
Like Timothy basically does the same number and basically moves them to a wall and basically goes, black SUVs, probably suits.
Well, I mean, I know you're quite attractive, but we do have a bit of a job to do. Gestures to the fact that she's
Oh.
holding a person.
Oh, shut it.
Oh, fuck it. He's dead anyway. Just tosses him aside.
And basically what he's attempting to do is basically making us look like a couple and,
I realize what you're doing.
that was more for the DMs.
Well, I got it. It was just funny, just the banter. So yeah, we flash to them quickly as we see them react to the message. Then we go back to Lucy and Jen. Do you get in a taxi, or do you stay on the roofs?
We'll stay on the roofs for now.
Okay, in that case, you stay on the roofs, and another helicopter joins. That's 3 helicopters now, and they're doing a crisscrossing search for any sign of you, going further and further out from the building you were in.
Can I see a rooftop access point anywhere? Like in any random building we land on?
Yeah. There's another block of flats.
I'm just gonna kick the door in, and close it behind us, so that the helicopters can just fly over.
All right then. You managed to do that. I mean, you get in and as you're going down, there's a janitor who's working the night shift. He seems a little surprised.
Oh no, we don't go down. We're staying inside that door while the helicopter.
Oh right, okay then.
So yeah.
In that case, you are trying to wait them out. It's a brave game.
Oh, they did go like a good 5-ish blocks away, apparently, from what they said.
True, they were running for a little while. So we come back.
Yeah, so unless they check literally every building.
Yeah. We come back to the club. We have armed police officers coming down the back alley, and we have armed men in suits in the club. Joey's sire has seems to have a handle on at least one of the guys and is keeping things civil.
Yeah.
But
Joey flags over one of the waitress or waitress that's nearby.
Yeah. Yes, sir? Is something wrong?
Yes, I getting close to them. I just want to make sure you get... me and the gentleman here need some drinks. And I say a particular drink, which the staff member knows translates to trouble, pull fire alarm.
Right. Okay.
It's special.
Yeah.
I should say something along the lines of, I want a clear ruby window.
Yeah. One clear ruby window coming up. And she gives you a smile and she goes off. And then a moment later, there's the shrill sound of a fire alarm. And everybody begins panicking, but in an orderly fashion, as people get up, grab their things, and go outside. Joey, your sire does not move. She does not leave. Neither do any of the men.
I know.
And
I'm sticking with my sire.
Yeah. Now you're alone with your sire and these dudes with guns. What do you do?
I wait for my side to give the orders, like the good,
Hmm.
child I am.
Yeah, she
She's the more powerful of us.
yeah, she is she stands up.
I assume the club itself also has some guards and whatnot security,
Yeah.
since we are paying our, crime lord friend down there for security.
Yes.
But I assume they wouldn't have left us.
Yeah, she stands up and you see her hand slide under the table and her finger press a button. And we don't know what happens with that button, but Joey, your side gets up and she looks sort of round the side corner of the booth to make sure everybody's left, and that smile becomes it goes from one that's warm and caring and full of genuine humanity to one that is cold and cruel and inhuman. And she just grabs the IRS agent and around the throat and slams him into the wall of the booth and just, you might want to rethink your life choices, and then throws him into the nearest guard that is standing in one of the corners of the room. This gives her a moment, and she looks at you and she just says, I think it's time to activate Operation Phoenix. You know what Operation Phoenix is. And you know that generally means one of you isn't making it out of this because of the way the security is set up. This failsafe is set up so that whoever enacts it has to do it manually. You need to get down to the basement.
I hug her quickly and say, thank you for all you did for me. And then Joey bolts out of there.
Yeah. And as Joey runs, we see the guard that was thrown and the guard that was hit, both trying to get up. A third and fourth guard are coming over, and Joey's sire just blinks out of existence. And one of the guards' throats is opened up, and blood sprays everywhere. Another throat opened up, another.
Yay, celerity.
And another, as Joey's sire just takes all of them out, using a good deal of her own blood to rouse. She had to rouse her own blood like 4 times there. She just grabs the last one she hits, and just and no, actually the 4th one she doesn't rip open their throat. She grabs them and just drains them. Joey,
I assume as Joey's heading out through a secret exit, more men are coming in.
Yeah. More people are coming in. Joey's sire isn't even hiding what she is at this point. And they all aim their guns as Joey's sire, which I'm saying Joey's sire because I've forgotten the name again, and she pulls a device.
Anne Smith.
Pardon?
Anne Smith.
Anne Smith pulls a little device out of her pocket and throws the now drained man to the floor. And she flips a switch on the device, and she just grins and says, go ahead and shoot. And Joey, as you run down the stairs, down into the basement, you hear the sound of rapid gunfire.
Yeah, I assume at this point I'm getting into a private car with my driver.
I thought you were going into the basement.
No, again, I'm getting out of it. That was a secret passage to the basement to the vehicle.
In that case, yeah, you would. In that case, you would have gone into the back alley, with
No, again, there's a hidden path into a vehicle.
Oh,
Parking lot.
fair enough. Sorry, I was imagining something different. In that case, yeah, you go into a hidden garage and your driver is there waiting with a car. Would Lauren and Timothy know about this hidden garage?
Given that it was my sire's, that'd be up to if my sire informed them, because Joey would not have informed them.
I would actually say it's whether or not she informed us, but also whether or not we just kind of scoped the place.
Yeah, I mean, would you have done that then? Would you have poked around?
I mean, honestly, I don't think Timothy would, because that place is owned by a older vampire, and he doesn't really want to piss off anyone in particular. So
fair enough. But does Lauren poke around?
Honestly, it seems more like Lauren probably would just spoke with my sire and found out that way, since they were, business arrangements.
Yeah. True.
I think
true.
I think Sarah's frozen.
Yeah, I think Sarah has frozen.
Sarah here.
He's blinking.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
That was weird.
But it cut out twice during that scene.
Weird.
Apologies. We're just saying, we're guessing Lauren probably didn't poke around as much, and just, because she had a business arrangement with my sire, she probably informed you. In case you were here and something like this happened.
Yeah, she's probably also going to have looked into it herself. Not like actually gone searching for it, but because she's used to having like bathrooms and places that are just like utility closets, she will probably have something similar.
Yeah,
So-
you would be aware of the failsafe. You would be aware of what Operation Phoenix is, which is basically blow the club up. Blow the club up and rebuild from the ashes. That's
So
essentially...
as like the whole like romantic facade is going on, Timothy does activate Blush of Life.
You would hear the gunfire from inside, and the men immediately... How do you react to the sound of gunfire?
Like a guy who was trying to have a moment with his girlfriend suddenly heard gunfire, scared shitless.
Oh, then how do you...
Gunfire and fire alarms.
Yeah, how do you react, Lauren? do you react like a scared human, or do you react like somebody who's used to this shit? Lauren?
Yeah, hang on a sec.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just going to put this in Discord because I don't actually trust Zoom right now. Because it's literally every time I start speaking, it cuts out. So I'm just like,
weird.
I know it's on my end, and it's just because the internet's kind of shit.
Fair enough. In that, so yeah, Lauren also acts like a scared human. Yeah, and both of you start freaking out.
She's a bit more indignant about it because she's specifically acting like they've interrupted her and Tim, like making out in an alley.
As Joey was heading down, he would have sent these two texts to give them a street corner to meet at, but they've already broke their phones.
Yeah, as they get further in the alley, they see the dead guy that you recently murdered. And one of them immediately turns to you and pulls out a phone. And they press something on the phone. And, well, it's more like a tablet than a phone. And he says, they're not showing up. Well, he whispers, they're not showing up.
I activated Blush
Before
before this happened.
Oh, okay. In that case, he says they're showing up on camera. They're normal. Let them go. and they they ignore the two of you as they make their way into the club.
And I just whisper into your ear, at least they don't know that much about us.
Yeah, their knowledge is very limited right now.
So Timothy basically does the you know how in every TV show and movie when there's a scared couple, the guy always grabs the hand and leads
All right.
the girl off.
Mhm,
Yeah, that's-
I'm playing into this,
Fair enough. Yeah.
despite the fact that she's built like a bodybuilder.
Yeah. They
Oh
ignore
yeah,
you past- yeah, sorry.
just for context, like Timothy has one strength. He is tall and lanky.
Yeah.
Lauren, meanwhile, has 3 strength and 3 stamina, so she is buff.
Yeah, she's swole.
You can be buff and delicate.
I mean, yeah, that's basically just me.
Yeah, so they let you go, and they ignore you from that point on because they think you're just normal humans, and they don't know that there are other kindred there. They're after Joey and Anne. They're not after other kindred.
As we're going past, actually, how many of them are there?
2 cars pulled up, so there's probably like a dozen. Well,
How many are in the alley?
About 6 are going past you. The other 6 are waiting at the entrance to the alley.
In that case, she's going to literally whisper as walking past, like she's not like making it clear evident, but she's literally just saying forget as she walks past.
Yeah.
Because she's just making eye contact with every single one as they're like
Actually,
hurried past.
We both have that power, so we'd probably be doing that at the same exact time with 2 people at a time.
Yeah, and then there's just all 6 of the people at the open end of the alley are like, what the fuck? What was that? What? Whoa, are we? How did we get outside the car? The fuck?
Just follow my lead and act real cool.
Yeah. As you get further away, one of them starts talking into the radio and
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
yeah, basically.
Don't be
I was
suspicious.
just-
Don't
you're
be
just-
suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah, you're
I was
just
just
sneaking
referencing
along.
the Blues
Like
Brothers.
you're doing that pantomime sneak of like hands like that and like tiptoeing away. And,
No, we are walking normally. We're not idiots.
you're making your way away, but you do hear somebody on the radio going, "Boss, something weird just happened. We were in the car, and now suddenly we're outside the car. Like, we don't remember stopping." Yes, that's why I called you, sir. I don't remember seeing anyone in the alleyway, sir.
And we're probably just turning the corner
Yeah.
and walking down the street, and I basically do the arm over her shoulder.
Yeah.
As soon as we break line of sight, she's running to where she was told to meet.
Yeah.
Actually, Timothy would try to get you to more of a panicked walk run to make it look.
Shit! We're about to miss our tube.
Oh shit! And he actually looks at his watch and goes, if we run, we can make it.
Okay, yeah. It's gonna be close. Do you have your oyster on you?
And yeah.
This is literally in case anyone is listening to us.
Yeah. As you come around the corner now, you're like, I imagine you're in front of the club, and there's 2 men in suits, clearly packing. And no, actually.
They won't come around the front. They probably would have gone the other way. They would have
True.
once they left the alley. They would have walked away from the club because again, they're not idiots.
Yeah. So as
You walk away from the heavily armored men.
Yes, we cannot help resisting returning to the scene of our crime.
Yeah, so it's a fair point. So as you go in the opposite direction of the club, you hear angry voices. Who the fuck are you? We were called here with security.
And Timothy just
go. What?
Timothy basically does the scared civilian.
No.
Holding up hands
It's
for
not anyone talking to you. It's if you glance at the club as you're going away, you glance at the entrance. You see two of Lauren's SUVs pull up, and a load of her organized crime members get out, all armed and packing. There's a heated exchange between the two groups that leads very quickly to a shootout, where that then leads to the groups of police officers from behind the building coming around to the front. This gives Joey time to escape. Joey, what do? You can hear all this gunfire.
Again, as my side on that, I go straight to her office, push her button, wall opens up, Batman style,
Yeah.
and he goes through the tunnel.
Yeah.
It continues walking for a bit, still hearing the fighting in the background.
Yeah.
The thing closes up and seals itself. Like, it's a use this once, and then it fucking just seals its deadlocks itself. And he finds himself in an underground thing with a really nice car there, and a driver waiting.
Yeah.
I nod to the driver and say, "Hey,
Good evening, sir.
the lady won't be joining us. We should move."
I see, sir. Is Operation Phoenix in effect, sir?
Indeed. I should have to.
He looks a little sad at that. He has been in school for over a century. He has served her loyally and faithfully. Will I be in your employ from now on, sir?
Yeah, should be, yes.
I see.
We need to pick up. My two friends should be close by. We need to pick them up and then head to. Following the orders, have to head to Liliana's.
Of course, sir.
Lillian's estate outside of London.
Of course, sir. Will there be anything else you will be needing, sir? As he's opening the door for you to get in and then getting in himself.
I do not believe so. If they were in the background and if they were in the alleyway. Joe seems to be doing math in his head, like, okay, which way? Okay, take that exit. Hopefully that should be near where they would be if they ran in that direction.
Yeah, as he sits down, he starts the car up. He pulls up. He reaches down to like the floor of the car on the passenger side and picks up a rarely used chauffeur's hat and puts it on and just says, "And I shall attempt to find your friends quickly, sir."
Yeah.
And
so yeah. And as to the way I'm picturing this again narratively, as these two turn a corner as they're getting away from the club, from the other end they see kind of walls move as the car comes out, and it's just very convenient that they're on the road where Joey's car is coming out of the hidden garage.
Yeah, I love that. And as both of you just jump in the car and the car speeds away.
Joey would pop next to him and say, "Get inside quickly," to give them the option because they may not want to drive to get into the limo.
Oh yeah, Timothy doesn't question it and just jumps right in.
Lauren?
Is there any what is immediately around nearby where we're picked up?
It would be
within a couple of feet. I mean, not like having to run to get it.
I imagine in my head I'm imagining not much. It's probably another club entrance is nearby you. You're going in away from your club, so it's
there's other clubs in a few shops.
Sorry, so it's probably another club, but it's not like a dance club. It's like a casino or whatever. And so it's probably nothing that you could pick up and carry or anything really.
Is there an ashtray just outside?
Sure, yeah. There could be tables with ashtrays on.
Okay, I'm going to start a fire in an ashtray and then get in the car.
Alright then. You start firing an ashtray. And as
And
you
I'm going to find like I don't know, like bits of old newspaper or something just to make sure it's got
Yeah.
enough to burn for like a good 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. As you do that, you jump in the car and the car speeds away. And the camera cuts back in time to Joey's sire, Anne Smith. Go ahead and shoot. And there's the sound of gunfire, and her body is all but ripped apart by a hail of bullets. And she falls to the ground, and the little device in her hand falls out of her hand. And as soon as her hand lets go, the device goes from red to green. And we just hear a beep click. And then the camera...
It's a dead man's hand switch.
Yeah, it's a dead man switch. And then the camera cuts to a bomb in cuts to the basement where we see the caskets or the freezers rather, with bodies in. And
The bodies wouldn't be in caskets; they would be up like mannequins.
oh right, that's even worse.
Yeah, they're pretty much taxidermied.
Yeah.
Again, Joey wants them pretty forever.
Madame Tussauds.
Yep. And we see
only less wax statues and
yeah.
corpses.
Yep, it's less wax statues and more the waxy pallor of death. So we see that, and we see under each of the bodies explosives, and a counter starts. We see it go down, and as the counter is going down, we flash forward to seeing Joey doing this, or Lauren and Timothy doing that.
There's also probably
and then we cut back to the moment where they jump in the car and speed away. We cut back to the timer. It just goes 3, 2.
There's also probably a few Kinshoots and Torpor down there as well. People might say, because again, you can't kill because of the Masquerade, but people might say needed to disappear.
Yeah. Yeah. And in that case, yeah, they are placed right by the explosives, just to make sure. And it's 3, 2, 1. Did it? Boom! As the explosives all detonate at once. And it is like a half dozen explosives just erupt, and the fire consumes everything. Oh, that was weird.
That was not internet hiccup. That was internet disappearing for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's annoying.
So at the sound of that explosion, Timothy pulls out another cigarette, lights it up, and basically goes,
"Yeah,
well, that was quite the
one bloody tear escapes Joey's dead."
Yeah.
Well, that was quite the gas main explosion.
Yes, clearly you need to get someone in to repair the pipes.
Indeed, sir.
Also, I think it would be prudent once we get to our destination that this car disappears.
So
already taken care of, madam.
Before that, Timothy does actually pull out another cigarette and hands it to Joey.
Mm. Would he call Lauren madam or miss? Would she have a preference?
Sorry, what?
So would Joey's now to be new ghoul call Lauren madam or miss? Would she have a preference?
Either sergeant or captain.
In that case, I think I'd call you captain. Just saying, already taken care of, captain. This car will not be seen again. I have several replacements lined up. Just need Joey to... actually, no, he messes up. I just need Miss... I just need Joey to sign off on which car he would like. It's that messed up as he almost says Miss Smith. And then we cut away there back to Jen and Lucy. You don't hear the helicopters anymore. They have long since... Well, you do hear them, but they're getting further and further away. Like, you are now inside. Like they're ahead of you now. Like, they are way past your point. So, if you left, they wouldn't come back to look for you because they have no reason to.
So I want to clarify something because I forgot, but Lucy probably wouldn't.
Yes.
When she got the email, the first thing she did was text her sire. The same thing that she later on texted the group.
All right then. Yeah, your sire is your sire doesn't respond. But
I mean, she's probably not in London, but
your sire doesn't respond. At least not at first. It's not until a while later that. Actually, no, I don't think she would respond at all because she doesn't know if you survive. She doesn't know if your phone's compromised. She assumes you would throw your phone away, so she wouldn't respond. You don't.
yeah, I mean,
respond.
Lucy probably knows how to deactivate the phone without actually disposing of it. So she probably just goes into secure boot, disables all of the GPS connections and everything, and just goes, okay.
Yup. Just of all the tech things.
Oh, and another thing. As we're in the car, Timothy does lean over to Lauren and goes, "Sorry about that alley thing. Wasn't much time."
I understand. It is necessary.
It was just, hey, look, what
She's gonna take like a cigarette butt out of her mouth and is like, I believe this is yours.
I was just gonna say, hey, look, what's a back alley fumble between friends?
God damn it, Doozer.
and
Joey isn't making any smart-ass comment for once, weirdly.
And I imagine Joey probably would have made that comment, but Joey doesn't. Joey's quiet. Joey's just lost everything. And,
well, we can rebuild, Joey. We've survived this night. We've survived longer.
Yeah.
I know. That's why we're going to Madame Lillian.
And I just
how confident is Lauren when she says that? Because these are unprecedented times. The Operation Antigen is in full swing, and there seems to be no stopping them. Somebody tried, rather stupidly, to break Khan's spirit, and it only made them infinitely more dangerous. And kindred after kindred has fallen. Dozens of kindred have disappeared. Ghouls, contacts, resources, all gone. So when Lauren says, we'll rebuild, it'll be fine, how confident is she really?
She's actually thinking in terms of we can rebuild as a crime boss, not as a vampire syndicate.
Alright.
So she's already like, I was doing this before I became a vampire.
Fair enough.
This is actually probably par for the course for Lauren.
This is not the first time she's had to completely uproot her organization and rebuild it from the ground up.
Yeah. What
It's the most violent time. It's the most violent time it's happened, but it's not the first time.
Yeah, it checks out. What about Timothy? What's his mental state right now?
He is thinking in terms of a soldier because he's been that for most of his life and unlife. So basically, he's going in his mind. The battle is lost, but not the war. So basically, right now he's going through the motions of what's our next move, and basically planning out their attack.
As we drive to the the Malkavian privileges that stay outside of the city limits.
What is Joey's mindset? What's going through Joey's head?
Right now, their mindset is, hopefully Madame Rose knows what to do next.
And
Joey's mindset is going back to the Camarilla training of report to one of the elder in the Camarilla. They should know what to do.
And at that point, as you say that out loud, and Timothy's eyes go wide and go, oh, there's going to be hell to pay with the Queen.
I think I'm guessing like there's like several sort of things happening in the background as we're driving. So she just looks out, one of them sees a helicopter and is like, I don't think that's going to be a high priority. We need to actually figure out first if the prince is still alive.
Which is why heading to Madame Rose's estate is probably the best option.
Is Queen Anne's generation well known?
I'm
assuming not.
I think people believe she's 8th generation.
I mean, people would believe she's whatever generation is one lower than Valerius.
Yeah, Valerius is 9th gen.
Oh, and Dozer, I sent you a thing in Discord.
7th gen, I think. Or
so
I don't know.
So basically, I was just wondering, because if like her generation is well known, like what generation does Timothy think she is?
Hang on, sorry, I'm reading what Lauren sent me because I didn't notice. My bad, sorry.
This is more just like it wouldn't have interrupted things. It was more just happening at the same time as things.
But
we're in the distance. We just see your casino just fall down on itself.
Yeah, I was just wondering if I knew what generation, like publicly, what generation.
I mean, she's Venture, right? So publicly, I think everyone would know her sire, and if you know her sire's generation, one lowers hers.
But publicly, it's like asking a woman her age. You don't do it.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things that's, it's none of you know.
Okay.
The
okay.
reason
How about
you don't ask of kindred things like that is because it's basically saying, so what are your weaknesses? Well, I like how much power would I need to amass against you? Just a hypothetical, but how much effort? Yeah,
I get it.
You help me, I coup you.
Yeah, it's that.
And unless the answer is 4 or above, they're not answering.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, Timothy just goes, if regular as Kine can take out an elder, we're in much deeper shit than I originally thought.
Anyone can take out an elder with enough planning, even Kine. And that's what this was. This one thing is one big night of masterful planning. We can counter from here. As long as you survive their plan, you can strike back.
What we will need to do from here on out is we will need to gather intelligence on their leadership. We are essentially fighting an army, so we take out the generals and their chain of command will collapse.
But for now, we can do nothing except for report to Madame Rose, if she survived the night.
Meanwhile, Jean is leaping across rooftops with her girlfriend, heading to private airport.
At least one time.
Country.
TV show wise, at least there's one time where we're driving along a road and we don't see it, but you do hop over our car.
Oh yeah. I mean, that'll be the transition scene. Is as it cuts from the car to
So
the camera pans up and sort of moves out of the car, and we see just as Lucy and Jenny just fly overhead.
You see the emblem of the Toledo clan on the car, and you're like, well, that ain't gonna fly in the future.
Yeah. It's like, subtlety. Like, I imagine I like the idea that either Lucy or Jen point down and go, "Oh, Joey's car."
Honestly, Jen is probably looking to the building she's about to land in, and Lucy's probably just
Going, "We
Hearing.
are flying."
yeah, a little bit.
It's the Superman Lois Lane first Superman
Yeah.
movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If instead of flying they kept Superman's original powers, just super jump.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, if she had weight of the feather,
Yeah.
I mean, actually, weight of the feather doesn't reduce jump distance because it reduces your strength proportionately. So,
I know.
I have weight to the
if I
feather.
could fly,
I have cat grace.
What if you do the weight of the feather, like you turn it on after you do the jump?
I guess.
No, that's actually what it's supposed to be for. It's supposed to be so you don't take fall damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if, for example, an angry mate throws you off a building.
Yeah.
Not
I mean, it
that
takes a
anything
lot of
like
fall
that.
damage to actually hurt.
Pardon? Pardon, sorry?
It takes a lot of fall damage to actually hurt.
Yeah,
Like-
but I mean, you're
Special
up.
stories are fine.
Yeah. If you're up against the mage, that like it could be a two-story. It could be a two-story building. You're up against the mage. That can change. It's like I'm a forces mage, bitch. 2 stories now become 50.
Very much depends on the mage, but moving on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. Forces mage. 2 stories is now the equivalent of 50. Splat.
And also, conversely, a 50-story building is now the equivalent of 2 stories.
Yep.
But yeah, you guys keep heading to the airport where you come across an SR-71 Blackbird capable of flying at 5,000 feet.
Yeah.
No? What? We're not going to a military airport.
Did you not read my Christmas list, darling?
Again, I will get a Helsing bridge quote at some point in all of these videos.
So,
I don't care if Sarah will kill me by the end of this game if I do it.
I mean, you missed your opportunity for the, when you came in and were everyone freeze, you know?
Oh yeah. I thought Timothy was going to be like. I think it smells like hypocrisy or something like that.
Well, there's no Catholics here yet.
True.
That's true.
No, it's just filthy normies.
I was going to say something else, but I'm going to keep that one.
Yeah, let's not. Anyway, so we pan up and we see Lucy and Jenny soaring overhead as the car speeds away down below. The two of you see Joey's club go up in flames. I imagine you are also aware of Operation the Phoenix Protocol, but so yeah, I imagine you know that means shit has gone real bad. So yeah,
be right back if I'm being called.
fair enough. So the two of you are on your way to the airport. The question is seeing Joey's car.
No, doesn't change shit.
Yeah, okay then. So I was going to say, does it change your plans? Fair enough. Fair enough.
See, Lucy's priority and being Lucy was the only one to see the car. Because I assume Jane is probably busy, making sure she lands correctly.
I mean, it's up to Jen, but sure.
No, I don't think Jean would notice at all. Her wits awareness is terrible.
Fair enough.
And
I was trying not to say that part, but also, yeah.
It's just like this hot pink limo with a glaring bright red and green rose, and somehow Jen still misses it.
Yeah.
It's like it's got a hot pink underglow and everything.
Jean failed the detective exam twice. The second time Lucy had even hacked the answers for her. And she's still messed up. Like, she's not a clever person. She's not, like,
Yeah.
that effective. She is,
Yeah.
however,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So-
you,
As for Lucy, her priority is, not being in danger.
yeah.
yes. So you ignore Joey's car and just make your way to the airport.
Hmm.
As you get closer, you see that there is a lot of activity going on at the airport. You see sirens.
Which is why they weren't going to an airport, they were going to a private
No.
private
They're going to their private airport. The private strip. You see sirens.
Hmm.
It's almost like the storyteller
Okay.
doesn't want you leaving the city. What?
Cool. I just tell her, okay, let's go to the other one. That one doesn't have any sirens.
I mean, we can wait them out.
I mean, you can try to wait them out.
Or I can kill her way, like, across the fields. There's only 3 dozen.
Yeah,
3 dozen.
it's
I
only a
think
couple of normal
that
police
much.
cars. It's not like the big SUVs or anything. It's just a couple of police cars. It looks like they're just waiting to see if anything happens.
Oh, wait. I think we can probably make it over to the hangar without them, being the wiser.
I can try.
Okay. So you make your way to the hangar. There's more security. There's security people you don't recognize, but you manage to sneak around and stick out of sight. Lucy literally with invisibility, and Jenny being able to stay up high. It's easy enough for you to remain hidden, and you get to the hangar, and there's your aeroplane. Although there's your jet.
I would like to think it's just like an actual private jet with resources that like a shell company of a shell company that I owns it.
Oh yeah. Like it's a proper private jet, but yeah, you don't. So who's piloting this?
I have a pilot on retainer, clearly, with that much
Okay.
money.
Yeah.
Having a driver.
Yeah. I assume you contacted them on the way.
There were like that's how you chartered the plane. Yeah.
If there is a problem with the pilot, I would like to add that for her last birthday, Lucy got Jean some piloting lessons.
I mean, as long as you have drive, that works.
I'm not going to be that much of a dick.
No, that could be really fun though.
It's like, oh, look at that, you forgot how to pilot a plane. Just don't know how that happened. No. Yeah, the pilot's there, and they're looking tired and a little grumpy. I
imagine I just like come in like fully invisible, and then as I open the door, I turn visible and just say, "Hey James, everything ready for takeoff?"
What the fuck? When did you? How? The door's not even. Right, whatever.
Came in from the back door.
The plane's ready. Where the fuck are you going in the middle of the night?
Business trip. Norway had some. Yeah.
Very.
I told you.
Like, there's a lot of skepticism in his voice when he.
I have to be there early morning, and I wanted to see some fjords.
It just says. Okay, love. No, actually doesn't. Okay, look.
Yeah, you say love like fucking daggers.
No. He goes. Okay, look. I don't know what you're really going there for, and I don't care. But you might want to think of a better cover story than I want to see some fjords. And he just turns and goes into the plane and prepares.
Okay, I'm having a little bit of a runaway wedding with my girlfriend. Are you happy now?
Slightly better.
I pay you way too much for that sass. She walks out of the pilot cabin.
I'll give it like a 4 out of 10.
She shakes her head. Get us on the air and you'll get a bonus.
Make it a 6 out of 10.
I just, I assume all the windows are closed, so I just recline in one of the chairs.
They are. I imagine they're specialized, so they're blacked out windows.
Yep.
Actually, no, I imagine the windows are sealed. Covered by plates, so no sunlight gets in.
Well, I think they're polarized glass, so it's they don't let any UV radiation through.
All right.
Yeah. And also, I just have all.
Well, it's
I
not the
imagine
UV
while it's in the
radiation.
hangar, it just has all the things closed.
It's not the UV radiation that affects vampires. It's the divine light.
Yeah.
Which
We got fine. Demon West windows. Are you happy now?
Look, I'm just
No, I just closed the window covers.
Yeah, they are they're already blackout blinds on aircraft because they need to be because you're flying above the clouds most of the time.
Yeah.
I've only been in an aeroplane once, and when we took off, it was overcast, heavily overcast, and very rainy, and I made the really stupid decision to look out the window, and it's like, just look out the window. It's like, my eyes. I've made mistakes.
And that's why you lower the shutter thing.
And it wasn't a shutter, it was a little hospital jet, because I was being airlifted from Scotland to Southampton. But I looked out the window, I was like, oh god, my eyes! Mistakes
Well,
were
you see,
made.
in normal jets, you can cover the windows.
Yeah, it was
And
like,
also,
why?
since this is a private jet, it's probably going to have custom tinted windows anyway.
Yeah, probably. You just close the windows and the curtains have little Malkavian symbols on.
No, this is probably not borrowed, but bought from a sale from her dad's company. So if anything, they have an embossed L.
Yeah. L for loser.
Where's the police girl? She's downstairs.
The police are outside the private airport. If
no.
what?
No, it's a Helsing reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I got that.
I'm back. Sorry. I kind of.
I have a fear of flying coffins in tight spaces.
I get back. I get back from speaking to someone at my door, and all I hear is Helsing quotes.
This is basically what this game is going to be.
Yeah.
Does James get us airworthy?
Yep. Yep. You
You okay over there?
You are driven out of.
Yeah, I was needing to get my charging cable.
Yeah, you are driven away. The aeroplane is driven out of the hangar and along the runway.
Taxis.
As the jet is driven onto the runway, you see the cars pull into the private strip and begin to approach the jet.
That would take longer than the jet just taking off.
And the police cars are really speeding up. So it's this cool scene as the police officers try desperately to catch up with the aeroplane. The aeroplane...
They wouldn't. Their windows would break.
It's just this scene of just the police cars trying to catch up and the aeroplane just YOLOing out of here. So, yeah.
Taking off airplane, especially a jet-powered one, if they try to get close to the jets, would be a really bad idea for their cars.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Just saying, that movie seemed totally fake. You don't try that.
Sorry, I just remembered something.
What?
Some absolute genius decided to strap a jet, like a literal jet, decided to make a Jeep jet-powered. So what happened is that somebody tried to tailgate him, and the entire front of their car just melted.
Of course it fucking did. Jesus Christ.
And later he put a sign that said, "Stay 20 feet back, my car is jet-powered."
And this is why you don't fly near the exhaust of a jet engine. Or, drive near it.
Yeah, it's only like 500 degrees as it leaves the exit. So
Celsius or Fahrenheit?
A little.
Celsius. I don't care about Fahrenheit. I refuse to not acknowledge its existence.
Pretty sure that's enough to overheat the engine.
A little bit.
Well, no, because it's only as it leaves it is that hot.
Yeah, but the engine intake on the car that's following behind.
Anyway,
you guys
Anyway,
fly
well-
off. You guys head to
Yeah,
Norway.
The two of you fly off to Norway for a romantic getaway with definitely not the shittiest cover story ever told. And
With
I
enough
mean,
money,
consider
it
it's a
doesn't
6
matter if you have a cover story.
Pardon, sorry? I didn't hear you.
With enough money, it doesn't matter if you have a
No,
cover
no,
story.
That's very true.
In
That's very true.
the words of one noble Dipper Pines, they're rich. They cheat at life.
Yeah.
Rules only apply to the poor.
Well, look at Boris Johnson.
Exactly my point.
There we go.
Anyway, let's move away from politics at lightning speed, as quickly as an aeroplane, one might say. Yeah. So as they fly off into the sunset, they fade away into nothing.
Can't wait to see I can't wait to see your new characters.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all been a long con. They're actually not playing Lucy and Jen. That's what's happening. As that happens, we cut back to the trio in Joey's car as they pull up outside Madame Rosner's estate, or Rosa, or whatever her name is.
Rose,
Rose.
it's just Lily and Rose.
Lily and Rose. That's it.
Yeah. It probably would have taken us a good 2-3 hours drive.
Yeah, as they pull up outside the estate, the gates open and you see. Actually, no, the gates are broken off the hinges.
well, that isn't a good sign.
Like something, it's like a big thing slammed into them. As you
Okay, At the moment Timothy sees that, he pulls out a silenced pistol.
yeah,
It's shot that Joey is genuinely shot the SI are working so far outside of London.
yeah. How far outside of London is Madame Rose? Sorry.
As I said, this was her estate outside of London territory. As I said, we drove 3 hours to get here.
Yeah, but it's London. You can drive 3 hours to get like 5 feet away. It's not a fun city to drive around.
That's why I said we were out of London.
Sorry. It's me being a derp then. In that case, yeah, no, the gates are fine. They swing open to welcome you in.
Because I wouldn't drive to her estate in the city because the city is under attack.
Yeah, you.
I'm pretty sure Operation Phoenix would be, if I die, go to the safest place that Lily and Rose
Yeah,
owns.
it's just basically go to ground, wait it out, rebuild. That's the idea. It's the Phoenix Protocol, and you drive up and you see several cars are parked there, and as you get out of the car and go in, you see A lot of high-ranking kindred are all standing around. Most of them look very much the worse for wear. There's ruined clothes. There's injured bodies.
I assume the majority are Malkavian, given this is the Malkavian Primogens abode.
There are a lot of Malkavian, but there are also the other Primogen, and Queen Anne is also there.
The moment Timothy sees Queen Anne, he does bow deeply and basically goes, "My queen."
Queen Anne looks like somebody dipped her in a fat fryer. She is burned, and burned badly. Scarlet is also burned very badly. Even worse, it looks kind of like she tried to shield Queen Anne from an explosion, and wasn't entirely successful in her endeavor. While they survived, it looks like they survived barely. They are hanging on by a thread, and there are many ghouls that have been brought in, and they are all being ghouls and blood dolls and the like that have been brought in, and they're being fed on as Queen Anne and Scarlet and the other high-ranking members of the court try to heal. The ghouls are looking weaker and weaker, and as you come in looking very much unharmed and a little just a little bothered, but not damaged or anything by the events.
Oh, he is very much doing the I am bowing, I am showing the belly, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah.
Lauren's standing right beside him and actually has basically just turned into she's on the parade ground. She is gone completely stiff-backed and has just saluted the queen.
It's adorable.
Actually, scratch that. Timothy's a soldier. He'd probably do the same thing. Actually,
Joey just gives a curtsy. My lady, I didn't expect to see you here.
Yeah, Scarlet is barely keeping herself out of torpor. She looks at you and she manages a very weak wave. She doesn't look at you. She hears the door open and hears people come in, and she looks in the direction, and you realize she can't see you because she has no eyes. Whatever exploded burst her eyes.
Yeah, they'll grow back.
Okay, at that
mild inconvenience.
Her teeth are blackened and broken. Her jaw looks broken. Her skin is blistered and blackened and charred. She looks like if she were mortal, she would be absolutely dead.
I think Tim wants to say something.
At seeing how badly Churchill is burned before he can stop himself, he just looks at Churchill and says, "Bloody hell."
Very bloody, actually. I believe
that is no way to address a superior officer.
And at that he does actually snap and go.
I look around for Madame Rose.
Yeah. Rose is there. She's there talking with some other Malkavians. They're all huddled close together and they're all looking around, all twitchy like Malkavians do. And they look around. They look at you, but they don't pay much interest to all of you. Rose looks at you and gives you a little smile, Joey, but then goes back to her conversation.
I start walking over to her.
Yeah. And when Lauren says that's not how you speak to an officer, Queen Anne looks up and she is missing one of her eyes, and one half of her is far worse than the other half in regards to burns and blackened skin. And she lets out a dry, bitter chuckle and just says, I think we're a little past formalities at this point. Right now, there is no Camarilla, there is no court. There is only those who survived, and those who
Is
perished.
Lucius here?
Is who? Lucius.
Is it? Yeah.
Lucius would be here, yes.
Okay.
And there are only those who survived and those who perished.
Is my sire here too?
Yeah, like, your sires managed to get here, except for Joey's, because, that's how it rolls sometimes.
Timothy has a very good relationship with his sire, so at the earliest convenience, he does actually walk over and hug her.
Yeah, she hugs you back and just says, "I'm glad you are well, my child. I was worried. I heard I heard the news that your club was hit.
Thankfully, they don't.
Well, your friend's club was hit.
Thankfully, they didn't realize we could imitate life.
Yes, their knowledge is strange and disjointed. They know things that they shouldn't know, and then things that seem obvious they have no idea about. Like, they think UV lights will have an effect, and yet they don't understand at all how dangerous sunlight is to us. It's strange.
Better that they remain ignorant, otherwise they would have killed us all this night.
Indeed. They would have attacked during the day if they truly understood. But that is neither here nor there, and she sort of leans back and like cups Timothy's face in her hands and says, let me get a good look at you, and she looks you over and just, well, it looks like you managed to escape relatively unharmed, as did the two of you. And she looks at Joey, and I see.
As said, Joey's already walked off.
Yeah, but she looks at Joey. Like, I imagine Joey is carrying himself not quite the same as usual. Like, there's a.
Oh no, Joey is 100%. As he walks to Lydian, he's gone full back to Camarilla Torino.
Right then. Okay, fair enough. Then.
More of a. If I pretend everything is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just head up to the Lydian curtsy. This is what you see me doing, I should speak, as I just say, Operation Phoenix was triggered, and I hand her a message from my side, which is pretty much saying, or anything that survives after tonight, you own. It belongs to Joey upon Joey being able to, successfully claim it.
Yep, and you. Madame Rose reads it, and she rereads it, and then reads it a third time, and just tucks the letter away into one of her many pockets. Like not even pockets that originally belonged to the outfit. She's sewn pockets on, and she just has dozens of pockets that she can't even reasonably reach without bending into awkward positions. She just has pockets for days.
I have pockets for my pockets.
Luckily, she's a contortionist expert.
So she tucks it into one of her many pockets, and she just gives you a sad smile. And your sire she cared about you, and she will be missed. She was a beautiful rose.
Joey just nods.
Many of us have been lost this night, and it will take a long time for us to rebuild. A long time indeed. And,
so Timothy does actually turn to the Queen and poses the question to nobody in particular. Do we know what instigated this attack?
I'm afraid not. We aren't sure where they are getting their intelligence, but they seem to know everyone in Queen Anne's court. No, sorry, you're talking to Queen Anne. She goes, sorry, I was talking like I was still Rose. Sorry. Queen Anne will look at you and just say, I have no idea. They have information they should not have. They knew the names and addresses and the contacts and resources of everyone in my court, including myself. There is only one who could have such information and who would be stupid enough to use it against me. Who would be stupid enough to provoke Operation Antigen in this way.
And at that, and he basically just goes, please tell me I'm thinking of a different person. Please, let it not be your Scourge.
No. But by this point, the Scourge is dead, and you would know she's dead because you watched her die. Well, you didn't watch her die.
Oh.
You know she was killed. So,
I thought
imagine you
that
probably would have watched her die during a session of Elysium.
She was tried and sentenced, and then left outside to be met by the sun.
I was under the impression that hadn't happened yet.
No. This is a little after Khan's children were murdered. This is why Operation Antigen is in overdrive right now.
Oh, so Timothy is currently the Scourge right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Timothy is currently the Scourge. Yeah. She just looks at you and they have information they should not have, and I think the only one arrogant enough to pass on such information is one I had long thought dealt with and had hoped never to meet again.
Oh, bloody hell.
Are you sure she wouldn't just blame her sire?
I don't think... No, because Valerius is retired now, isn't he?
Valerius would have all the information.
Yes, but would he do that?
Doesn't matter if he would do it. Would Queen Anne think he would be a sadistic enough asshole to do it?
Yes.
Like, the impression I got from the book is that they...
Because as far as
they don't have
Queen Anne knows, he's dead.
Who?
Like, dead.
Who? Him?
Yeah, so she wouldn't think of him.
Yeah, in that case,
Like,
yeah.
Valerius just makes more sense to like, her current knowledge.
Case, she'll just say, I can only think of an exceptionally small number of kindred who would have such information and who would be arrogant and foolish enough to use it. And only one of that number is not present tonight. My sire Valerius. You would all know Valerius. He was once the seneschal when Queen Anne was at the height of her power.
I thought he was the seneschal for Mithras, and he was sort of also in charge of stuff until Mithras told him to fuck off. And
well, I mean, he retired, and then I think Queen Anne took over, right? I haven't read all the books yet.
No,
I haven't read all
he didn't
the
retire.
Books.
Mithras retired him.
Oh, right, in that case, Duff. In that case, yeah, well, if it's Mithras that Valerius hates, he wouldn't go against Queen Anne, he would go against Mithras.
No, because so Queen Anne sort of engineered Mithras taking Valerius off, and Valerius knows that.
Oh, in that case, yeah, she would think it was her sire getting back at her. I believe it was Valerius. I think he is seeking vengeance against me and wants to take everything off the table so he can rebuild, but I don't think he understands what he's unleashed, or what my foolish former Scourge has helped unleash.
At that, Lauren's actually going to step up to I assume they're kind of all gathered up in the same room, but dotted around. So she's going to step into the center of the room and actually look to Queen Anne as if waiting for permission to speak.
Yeah, she will. She says one more thing to Joey. She just says, "Where are the other two of your coterie? The Malkavian and... Sorry, what clan are you again, Jin?
La
Sombra.
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 Sombra. The Malkavian and the La Sombra.
At that, Timothy would probably say, "My best guess on a private jet right now."
I could do with a private jet right now. I think we all could. Somewhere.
I mean, you knew the destination, I think.
And
No, I think she just said vacation. You don't know the destination.
Yeah, I think she looks down at her burned and charred body and just says, "I would go on holiday somewhere very, very cold, where there's no sun, and hopefully no fire."
On that, I think if my sire happens to be in that area, which I doubt, because she has other things and other more important people to be with. But she gets a sat phone call from the jet.
Yeah, but before that happens, Queen Anne notices Lauren standing patiently in the room, and she looks at you and she nods and she gestures for you to speak.
Yeah, Lauren does offer like an actual formal bow. Survivors of the Camarilla. We have faced adversity this night that the likes of which have not been felt for centuries. But that is not the time to give up hope. For now, we can rebuild. We are still alive. We will gather our forces, and once we have identified the nature of this threat, we can take the fight back to them. I am asking for your support in this matter, for any endeavors into this new enemy that we face and how they came across all the information they possessed that allowed them to attack us this night. We must consolidate our resources. We must take a stock of what we have that is still remaining and what is still accessible to us. Otherwise, we are lost, and the Anarchs and the Sabbat will win. And we cannot allow that.
So as she's speaking, Timothy does walk over and stand beside her. He doesn't say anything, but it's sort of that
It's
the scourge.
Yeah.
The scourge approves of this message.
Lauren will remember this.
I am actually going to. Can I try and actually I know we're trying not to do dice rolls, but can I actually make a leadership roll?
Sure, go for it. I mean, I feel like if anything deserves a leadership role, it's this. Let me think.
Timothy is helping. Timothy
I'm also
is
going
using
to
the help
rouse
action.
as well. So
in that case, but
Jokingly, Joey just needs to stand behind you and activate also, and even though everyone's looking at him, they're looking at you.
So Timothy is helping you.
Okay.
So that's a +1 for helping,
Yup.
+1 for rousing.
+2 for
Plus
rousing.
Plus 2 for rousing.
Oh, +2? Okay.
Yeah, and
Also, Gene, you're muted.
The errata changed it to 2 dice.
Okay, so that'll be +3 then. I'm gonna re-roll 3 of those just in case I get another 10, or re-roll 2 of those because I can't re-roll hunger dice. I think.
Yeah.
Wait, no, can I?
No,
You can't
can't.
reroll hunger dice. No. Reroll 2.
Yeah, I'll re-roll 2 just in case I get another 10.
I mean, you can re-roll 3 because I don't know why you're at 2 hunger, so you can re-roll 3. Because I'll ignore the fact that you're at 2 hunger because you could have fed at any point and got your hunger down in the last 8 years.
No, I literally just got hungrier as I roused.
Ah, right. In that case, I'll shut up. I guess. What do I know?
Yeah, because I sort of maintain hunger 1 because I don't want to kill people.
Yeah, fair enough. In that case, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so that is a total of 7 successes.
Yup. 6 successes.
No,
'cause
7.
7 because I re-rolled because I got 6 the first time.
What?
No, you got 5 the first time.
Yeah, you got 5.
Yeah, you got 5. Then you.
Plus 1,
you rolled
6.
2.
Yeah.
No, she rolled. Yeah, she rolled 2. So yeah, so it should be 6 now.
No, because it says dice roll. Oh, right, yeah, okay, never mind. I was miscounting.
Yup.
Yeah, I was looking at the
Yeah.
dice rolled, not the. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's 6 successes total, yep.
Yeah, that's 6 successes. You Like this is a rousing speech, and
Oh yeah, it's
as-
entirely to rally them because they've just
Yeah.
had their most devastating blow in like
Yeah.
200 years.
yeah, like when was the first Inquisition? Um,
Like 500 years ago.
yeah, so yeah, it's like
Wow.
Queen Anne probably remembers the first Inquisition. So like I imagine like no, I don't know how old Queen Anne is.
Queen Anne is not that old.
Oh, okay then. Well, I imagine though that the very old kindred have heard many stories and many versions of the stories of the First Inquisition, and that they are probably the most weary and beaten down by this defeat, while the younger kindred are more annoyed, and they're the ones that respond first. The younger kindred respond first, and they all approach and stand around you. And as you continue this speech, the older kindred look to each other, and it's sort of like each of them's assessing the other, going, well, I'm not going to let the upstart be braver than me. What about you? Well, I'm not going to let the upstart be braver than me. What about you? And so they all gradually move over to that, and then to where you're standing, and it's very much a here kind of attitude, like sally forth and all that jazz, and fight the barbarians at the gate. I don't bloody know. Don't know where I was going with that.
Can Lauren? Because she'd have just kept going basically. Because
Yeah.
I ran out of stuff that I was actually saying, but she was still going. I think like the end of it is like are we not the Camarilla? We are the chosen of Cain. We are his children. We are his disciples.
That's
Yeah,
more
That's gone
Sabat.
so far
Yeah,
into
that's-
Sabat
that's-
territory. Please.
that's just
Oh, yeah,
that's
no,
just
hang on a
that's
sec.
just taking a hard left into we are now Sabat.
Yeah, it's like,
No,
yo,
no,
you need
in
to
that
chill
case-
out.
In that case,
How
no,
did we
I
become?
go
Wait,
for a
how did we
different-
become Sabat?
I go for a different approach. It's like, are we not the Camarilla? Are we not the rightful rulers of this land?
Yeah.
Do we expect to let the ones licking at our boots to take our territories while we're licking our own wounds and repairing our damage? No, we will rebuild stronger than ever, and we will take the fight to this new kind enemy, and we will destroy them beneath our heel. The Camarilla lives on, and she's actually going to just sort of raise her hand in the fist.
Yeah.
And Timothy carries up that cry. The Camarilla lives on.
And everybody, and again, everybody's like, the Camarilla lives. The Camarilla lives, and there's a slow clap from Queen Anne and a chuckle. Well, aren't you quite the inspirational one?
She will actually, as soon as Queen Anne speaks, she will immediately just sort of step aside as like, nope, the commander is addressing the army.
And Queen Anne slowly rises, shakily, and Scarlet stands up and helps her, even though she's very shaky herself. And Queen Anne takes very, very painful looking steps forward.
Laura's gonna clap her on as if she's like encouraging her, basically.
Yeah, she takes a few steps forward, and Scarlet. A couple of the Primogen that survived also come forward and help the two.
Okay. At this point, Timothy is going to fall into his role of the Scourge and is going to stand by the Queen as a member of her court.
Yeah. And Queen Anne just comes forward and she says, "Many of my court have fallen this night, and it has been some time since I have had. So, what role would be the closest to what Lauren's doing right now? The one rallying the troops, Seneschal or Herald or what?
Harpy?
Sheriff, actually.
Herald?
She's the one who's trying to. She's trying to basically
you mean
take
for
command
sheriff?
of the military.
Right. Okay. I mean,
So-
Sorry, you're all kind of
I mean,
talking at once there.
Sorry, yeah. She's
Yeah.
I would say either the seneschal or the sheriff, because
Hmm.
she's essentially trying to take command of the Camarill's military.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I like the idea of you being the seneschal, seeing as we have a scourge. One of the coterie is a scourge, and
I would posit, right, Harold as in lead of like the harpies and literally spokesperson for the queen, solely because you are giving a speech instead of the queen.
True, and that, yeah. I mean, would you agree with Harold?
Yeah, I could go with Harold. She'd be reorganizing what they do.
Okay, then in that case, Queen Anne's.
I mean,
is a
Queen Anne
mil-
might know who you are and take that into account,
Yeah.
but just by the action itself,
Yeah, this is essentially a military coup at this point, without actually deposing her.
Yeah, she looks you up and down, and she's just. You are correct, young one. The Camarilla has stood for over 500 years and will continue to stand after this night has faded into distant memory. But in order for that eventuality to come to pass, we will need those who can rally the troops.
Right.
When you're done choking.
Impressive you're doing that since we don't need to breathe.
Yeah.
Joey says drinking some wine.
she's actually just choking on her own arrogance.
Ryan, you're out of frame.
Stupid. Okay. Someone buy me a new monitor.
No.
Yeah, it only cost you 90 quid.
Lol. Effort. I mean, look, I'm already forking out money for a nice professional video. Shut your face. It's gonna be a cool intro video and everything. Anyway, yeah, she's just.
Why don't you ever hold my hand?
I have a need of a new herald, and I believe you would be a good choice for this role.
You honor me, my queen. If you deem me worthy, I will humbly accept the position.
You honor yourself with your strength and your conviction. I do not give this title lightly.
See the Camarilla raised higher than ever before.
One can hope. I have great plans for this city when we reclaim it. Great plans indeed. And she nods like she's done, and she's like taken slowly back to her throne. Oh well, the seat. It's the nicest seat in the house. It's not really a throne. It's a dining room chair.
Yes, this is someone else's house. This isn't her court.
Yeah, but it's now her throne because she's Queen Anne, and where she sits becomes her throne. Damn it. Yeah, and she just.
The rare can you discipline? Phronomancy. You just sit down and everything just becomes a fancy throne.
Yep. That's
Where is your court?
Works.
Wherever I sit down. Okay.
It's true. It's true. It do be like that. Anyway. So yeah. I think that's where we leave off. Really, I don't think there's anything, unless there's anything anybody else wants to do.
I'd say the camera panning out as everyone says the Camarilla lives on while like putting their fists in the air is probably effective as a closer.
Yeah. The camera pulls.
There's a little after scene, right, of a sat phone call to.
Oh yeah.
As she just says, "We'll be in Norway for the next couple years.
Yeah.
Bye. Tell me if you need anything."
Yeah. I
hope you got out all right.
It's just a scene of Lucy using the cell phone, contacting a siren to say, "Oh no, we're fine. Where are we heading? Norway, actually." And I think that's where we cut off.
Lucy, I better not miss a fucking thing.
Wow. And I think that's
I've been
everything.
gone for 3 days, and the
The
Inquisition are
Catholics start
crusading.
crusading.
Pardon, what was that? What was that?
I've been gone for 3 days, but it's felt like years.
Yeah.
The Catholics are crusading while the Nazis are invading.
Oh God.
You're all the worst. Anyway,
Yes.
so
what? Well, you would know what was going on if you went and watched Helsing.
Yeah.
I do want a background scene of the SI like coming to murder everyone, and people being like, "Great, it's the Catholic Church," and then it's like they start like murdering civilians, and it's like, "Oh no, it's the Catholic Church."
There's a far worse comment I can make to that. Anyway,
No little dimmy wrapped around your crotch. Progress.
Jesus Christ.
Well, we should probably start recording here.
So, before we go,
We've been the Explorers League.
Pardon?
We've been the Explorers League.
And we just wasted around 2 hours of your time. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're a hot mess. Thanks for watching.
I mean, look, you're all kindred, so technically you're a cold mess.
Do you have to ruin everything, or do you take a perverse joy in doing so?
You can hear the grin, so he takes a perverse joy in it, obviously.
The only response to that is I'm English.
Now remember, Lauren.
So
don't
yes.
Remember, Lauren. Don't accidentally kill someone, Lauren. I'm not a fucking idiot. I know how to actively kill someone.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
yeah.
So, before we go, what, like, stars, wishes, all that fun stuff?
Joey needs to rebuild his art gallery now.
No, yeah.
I definitely think my star for the session is the fact that I was actually finally able to use my leadership, because there's a reason I put 3 dots in it.
Yeah, that was a good roll. 6 successes, damn.
Oh yeah, and
Like,
just so you know, like Timothy is like the quintessential soldier. He is by no means like a leader or anything like that.
yeah.
So he's not the typical venture. He's more of a point him at an enemy and that enemy will die.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a reason why she's been sitting on this for a couple of sessions and only now came out with the quite obviously a military speech.
Mm,
But that will be found out later,
yeah.
and I'm not going to
Are
go
you-
into it just now.
Yeah, I know.
Lauren, are you setting up a personal dictatorship? I'll shoot you if you are.
I'm a venture. It's what we do.
Bang, bang, bang.
I mean, it's fair. It's true. It's true. It is kind of what they do. I mean, it's more
We are
of a
the clan
surprise
of
when they
kings,
don't
after
do
all.
that. Sorry, what?
We are the clan of kings, after all.
Yeah, the clan of self-righteous, pompous dickheads. Kings, otherwise.
A king is nothing next to a flower.
Lawrence.
That is a very Toreador thing to say.
Yeah, but
That is my response. It's just a very empty burp.
And now I have a -2 dice pool because of it. You asshole.
Oh well, stars and wishes. Lawrence was getting to use leadership. Shadows, what was your star?
Getting to use obscene amounts of money to get out of trouble.
I mean, that was fun. That was fun. Jen?
Also, I kind of want James to be a thing, because you really shouldn't sass the person paying you like 100K a year to like sit in a plane doing nothing.
I mean, you came up to him and did the equivalent of going, "Here's my fake passport," and it's drawn in crayon. It's like, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Okay, but he works for me,
Yes.
right?
And
And his job is just to fly,
yeah, I know.
not
but
to give
it's-
sass.
No. The way I see it is like he knows he works for a shady person, and it's like you come out and
He
you took
works
the
for a
time to give him-
multi-billionaire. Of course, he works for a shitty person.
You took the time to stop and give him some bullshit cover story, and he was like, as far as bullshit cover stories go, that's a special kind of bullshit, and that's a pretty intense bullshit.
He was the one that asked. Okay, he could have not asked and just done his job.
Honestly, I really want James to be the reoccurring ghoul who's just.
Oh, he's not a ghoul. He doesn't know about vampires.
No,
the only ghoul-
Just a normal mortal.
Yeah, he's just a dude that flies a private jet for
And I just
weird
unlocked.
night worker.
I just unlocked a ghoul without spending XP.
Yeah.
You got your sire school, so have fun with that. I mean,
I since we didn't give him a name in the actual episode, I dubbed my new ghoul Milton.
fair enough.
Oof.
Hey, at least Lucer's being kind, because I would make you spend XP or lose the ghoul.
I mean, I could just kill the ghoul off.
I am currently in negative XP right now because I kind of bought a lot of stuff between sessions, and I'm like, I can't actually buy anything until I get to 0.
Welp.
How did you get negative XP?
It was entirely from when I nommed the Zamichi.
That's not negative.
I
There's
had 3 XP left, and it costs 5 to actually get another dot of discipline. So I'm now at negative 2.
All right. Well, Timothy, stars.
I honestly really. I really enjoyed the banter between Lauren and Timothy.
That was pretty good. I did enjoy that.
And I purposefully, you may think that was an accident doing the whole vampire thing, but I completely did that on purpose because, before this point, Timothy didn't particularly take the Second Inquisition exponentially seriously, but after this, he is going to get a lot more cautious real quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like they know a lot of stuff. Like they know how obfuscate works. They know not to look at your eyes. They know like they know how they know how your thermals read, shit like that. There's a lot of stuff they know that makes them extremely That's why it's such a bad thing for Kindred that they've taken over public transport, like the London Underground, like Heathrow Airport and places like that, because with control over areas like that, Kindred now suddenly find it extremely difficult to move around long distances. Because like if you're constant, like if you always call cabs in the middle of the night and never during the day, that's gonna look very suspicious.
That's why you have your ghoul call up cabs in the middle of the day and pretend to be you.
Yeah, I mean that is one way around it. I'm just saying, it's like there's a lot of ways the Second Inquisition will find you.
That's a really fluffy cat.
It's why
Yeah, this is fair.
It's why for someone like Joey with social media, they need to have some tech skill to be able to Photoshop, convincingly, daytime pictures of themselves.
I do like how we all have technology for different reasons. Like, you have technology for photoshopping. I have technology so I can make grenades. and Lucy has technology so she can skim off the stock market with nobody noticing.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who isn't tech literate.
Oh, and also
I have like
Jean.
1 dot. Yeah, I have 1 dot to like offset the vein a little bit.
Yeah, kind of right.
I have a big fat goose egg.
Sometimes use a phone.
Again, though,
the reason you're not tech literate is because you're that guy who, when you watch Good Morning Vietnam, you were criticizing the accuracy of events. That didn't happen
there,
like
man.
that.
No. I was the guy who watched MASH and criticized the accuracy.
Lol.
Oh God.
Except for the accuracy of one person who listened for the entire show dying at the end for no good reason.
Anyway,
That was very accurate.
Ryan, wishes. Stars, rather.
My side kicking ass was cool.
You know, that was a pretty epic way out for her. I did originally intend for you and her to have a really touching scene, but given how it played out, that ended up not happening. You know, just it would have been really weird if you had just stopped and had a really touching scene while there's armed guards around you. They're just sort of awkwardly standing around like.
I can see there wasn't really like a room for a touching scene between.
So I just had to order the clear. I just had to order the clear ruby window.
Yep. Yeah. So it was just a moment of her just being like, fire away.
I mean, I know now that I'm thinking about it, I probably could come up with a cocktail that actually is a clear roomy window, and obviously it has Everclear in it.
Oof.
Again, the point of the name was meant to be.
I
sounds like it could be a drink, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is I know what it was actually for, but I'm not actually thinking. It's like I could probably actually make a clear roomy window.
And for Wishes, it's obvious what Joey wants. He wants to rebuild his art gallery.
Yup. What about Timothy? Wishes.
Wishes. I kind of want there to be like more scenes where his role as a scourge is taken into play, because he's in the middle of an operation and then all of a sudden he has to drop everything because he has to play scourge at court.
Yeah.
I can't remember what is the scourge. What is their role in court?
The scourge.
The scourge is so typically a city will have one sheriff. London has 4 sheriffs because London's such a big goddamn city. There's the sheriff of North, South, East, and West London. However, there are times when the sheriff just won't do for a particular situation. There are times when the ruling prince wants to send a particular kind of message. A very violent, a very bloody, and a very, very serious message. That is when they send the scourge. The sheriff they send when someone's been stupid and fucked up and found out. The scourge is who they send when somebody's fucked up and everybody else is about to find out. The scourges are.
I'm gonna head off now if that's okay.
Okay.
I hope everyone have a lovely day.
Bye. It's been great playing. Glad you were all able to make it. So yeah.
I think I did my star. I think my wish would be.
Yeah, you've all done your stuff.
Not.
We still haven't done Jean.
Oh, have we not?
Did you not?
Yeah, no, we skipped over me.
Sorry,
people started talking, and it was just.
Sorry, I thought
he
I
did,
asked
and then
you
everyone
stuff.
else started talking, and it was like.
Oh, right.
Wait.
Sorry. We'll go to you.
We're just getting in character of you being a Lysandra, we're forgetting you recall.
I'm just too polite. I'm just like, I'll just wait. And then like tangent. Anyway, yeah. Star for me. I really like just sort of like jumping out the window, just like I don't question Lucy. I'm just like, cool. She says we need to go. We need to go. Like that is it.
Yeah.
Kicking the door and like hiding from the helicopter, I thought was like the cleverest thing she could do in that situation.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it was a good move because the helicopters aren't going to be able to go through that door. They don't know where you've gone, and you had the good sense to close the door behind you. So,
so Dozer, what was your star moment as the storyteller?
My star. I mean, I did like the moment where Joey sacrificed herself, but that's my personal NPC. So, I think probably Lauren's speech. I really like that speech.
That was completely improvised, which is also why I completely botched it to begin with, because I forgot that the Camarilla don't like Kane.
Yeah.
That was entirely
Camarilla do not acknowledge that Kane was a thing.
Yeah, that was entirely just me out of character forgetting that very crucial bit of information.
The weird irony is, especially in the Fall of London, the weird irony is the Camarilla do not acknowledge the existence of Cain, of the Antediluvians, or of the Methuselahs. Mithras is a Methuselah.
And he's
I think-
sleeping under Bethnal Green.
I think
Uh,
Methuselahs they acknowledge exists, but like they just pretend that it's not really
Yeah.
important. Like
They just don't talk
aware
about
of
them.
it.
They just
Yeah.
go
We don't
la la
talk
la la la.
about
like-
Mithras.
Like there's still like Ventry descendants from Mithras, or like I'm descended from Mithras. Another Venture like sure you are, you tosser. Like
Oh yeah. It's entirely just like, oh, all right, yeah, and I'm descended from Abel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there another Ventry that, like, a lot of Ventry brag that they're descended from, like, Harstat or something?
Harderstadt, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
also a member of the inner council of the Camarilla.
Mm.
I mean Hardestadt the younger is.
I mean, I just said Harderstadt, not which.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Shadow, Star. I wish, sorry. My bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you really gave mine. What?
Mhm.
Sorry,
Wish.
Sorry.
I feel like it'd be fitting if we start the first episode with Jen and Lucy finally coming back from Norway.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea if you just, like,
They
land.
have like a reverse tan. They've somehow managed to get paler.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I mean,
Oh
their
god, the
bodies
nights
don't
are
even
so
work
short
that
now. I don't like this.
Okay, sorry, what was that? I talked over you. I talked over Shadows there. Sorry.
Oh, I think he was making a joke about the short nights when it's into summer in Norway.
I'm whiter than my own shirt. Jen, wish.
This is maybe a very selfish wish, but I wish that like when someone starts talking, everyone else doesn't make like little jokes like over them, because it's very easy to get sidetracked.
Yeah, I think that's something we do need to work on.
I don't know what you mean. I haven't noticed any sidetracking from this group.
I try and put mine into the group chat, so it's like I don't actually talk over anyone, and it's like
Fair
less
enough.
disruptive.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've noticed that I'm really good for the first hour, and then my attention starts to wander, and then
Yeah.
I start slipping into the second hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's something I need to work on.
please know I don't intentionally try to talk over people. It just sometimes.
I don't either. It's a really terrible habit. Something autism. But yeah. So Jeffrey, that's it. I know your name, Jeffrey. Wish.
I think we already did a wish.
You did a star. I don't think you did a wish. Or did you do a wish?
Yes, I did a wish.
Okay, in that case, I think everything's done. I hope everyone had fun and enjoyed, and I hope everyone watching enjoyed this snack shot. This little glimpse into how fun the Fall of London was for the Kindred. And it's not over. Like, this was just the first night when Queen Anne and her court and others were attacked. Operation Antigen didn't slow down its activities, it only increased. As Mithras
And also got several tradition mages because they were caught in the crossfire because the Second Inquisition didn't understand that magic exists.
Lol. Mithras rose to power and tried to take over London. However, Mithras, much like the Scourge, the Scourge is not a canon character. There is no canon answer to who embraced Khan's kids, but I'm going with the Scourge for my campaign, because why not? And
it also makes the most sense for what happened.
Yeah. Much like the Scourge made a fatal miscalculation in regards to what Khan's reaction would be in regards to seeing his children embraced and turn into kindred, Mithras made a fatal mistake in regards to his assumption that Operation Antigen would be a problem easily quelled. And they absolutely were not. They took out nearly every kindred in London. There are very few left. And
can I make a correction?
what?
Actually, to You said that Khan's faith was Muslim. Khan is a Sikh.
Sorry, what? See?
Isaac Khan?
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
That's me being an idiot. Yeah, sorry, he's Sikh. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
I've always wondered. I wasn't sure how you
Sikh,
pronounce
Yeah, yeah.
Sikh, Sikh.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay then. Yeah. Sorry, that's my bad. He's Sikh, but he is a devout man, and his faith, while he was very, very devout and very, very loyal to his beliefs, when he found his children changed into monsters and he had to... At least the assumption is that he put them down himself. No corpses were ever found, so we don't know what he did with his kids. But whatever happened that night...
Took them to
when he
South
went-
End.
Whatever happened that day when he came home and found his children, it turned him from a humble servant of the Queen to a fiercely devout and loyal warrior of the Lord and of the Queen. He still serves and is faithful to his country, but his faithfulness and loyalty to God is now paramount.
Sikhism is not monotheistic.
I don't know how it works. Isn't Allah? Am I getting it totally wrong? I have no idea, so I apologize if I'm offending anyone.
That is Islam.
Yeah, Allah is
Okay.
Islam.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. Well, either way, he is incredibly devout, and that devotion ignites into supernatural ability in the form of true faith. Yes.
Oh, I forgot.
So
what
as far as I
was
know,
gonna say.
Sikhs do just believe in like one god. It does call out in the Fall London
Oh, right.
Oh, does it?
that Khan doesn't see any real difference between like Christianity's interpretation of God and the worship that his own beliefs like require. So he's fine for it to just be like, yes, I serve God, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's a very simplified look at it, but like I think they have lots of names for God.
Yeah.
Under like Sikh faith.
Yeah.
I'm not a religious person. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read that, which is, I think, why I was, yeah. Sorry, what?
Shadow is wanting... No,
Yeah, I was saying what, Timothy?
Jarvis
Okay,
wanting to
so I think it would be really fun if you made my previous character in the previous campaign, Jason Ryder, an NPC, like later in the campaign.
I mean, I can do that. I intend to have Shadow's previous.
We just instantly kill him because he's a fucking
Because
cheater,
he's a narc.
betrayer.
Because he's
Yeah,
a narc.
So for context, Sarah, basically what happened is in the previous
And me, I left before that.
and
Oh,
Shadows.
right, yeah.
In the previous campaign,
He's a filthy narc, is all you need to know.
in the previous campaign, I was playing a Nosferatu named Jason Ryder, who hates the fact that he is a vampire with a fierce passion. He got captured by the Inquisition and immediately turned traitor and told them literally everything about vampires and how to kill them.
Did he have his classic black narc shades?
His immediate response to being captured was to essentially turn around and point in the coteries direction and go, "They did it! It's all them!
Yeah.
It's their fault! They started it!"
Okay, to be fair, that was the logical step. That was the logical next step.
I'm not criticizing the roleplay decision or the roleplay itself. It was fantastic. It's just funny. The moment he was captured, he's like, "Well, I'm going to be a self-serving bitch," and so it's those pricks over there.
Oh, he is not self-serving. The fact that betraying them kept him alive was just icing.
Mm-hmm.
His goal is to kill vampires because he knows what vampires are like, and they're all parasites that deserve to die, even him.
And they're self-serving. Yeah, got it. I'm just messing. But yeah, it was funny though. Like just.
I think the
Her didn't
first.
hurt anyone.
I think practically the first thing I said to the doctor developing weapons was UV light doesn't work.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, yes, UV light doesn't work.
I mean, it
This
works in
doesn't-
some.
Yeah, it's like
That's
UV
right,
light doesn't work, garlic doesn't work, like this, that, and the rest of it doesn't work. But this does. Sunlight is extremely deadly, fire is extremely deadly, and hey, watch this. And he's like showing them a bunch of disciplines and shit, and was just like, well, this is interesting. However,
I also taught their resident thin blood alchemy.
yeah, but I have plans for. I've got plans for the Thin Blood Inquisitor. Wahahaha.
I don't think full bloods can really teach thin blood alchemy. Like, it's entirely beyond normal kindred.
Well, he didn't teach her any specific abilities. He just taught her that it existed, that it was a thing that Thin Bloods could do. Which
Begs the question: how did he know that he could do that?
Because his occult roll was silly.
Oh, okay.
I had 3 dots in occult and a practically maxed out intelligence, and I rolled extremely well.
Yeah, his occult roll was kind of silly. So it's like, well, you know all the things, sir. Well done. And then he played.
I know the pain of those rolls.
Yeah. It's like, well, guess you know all the secrets now. Fuck.
And then I played a.
And then he played a Brujah who made only the best life choices. The Brujah, much like Timothy, was a scourge. And I decided, well, Jason is, of course, shit to hit every available fan. And the SI are now outside the Coteries Haven. And one of the other PCs is there watching the SI watch the Haven. It's very meta. And Gerbil's new character turns up. And the SI, because what was her name? Monica?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Monica had the floor of known blank body, the SI saw her and were like, well, we gotta take this bitch out. So they all get out of their car. There's 6 of them, because the rest have gone into the Haven now. There's 6 of them, and Monica, rather than making the smart decision and running away from the 6 body-armored guys wielding HK carbines, Monica went, I'ma fight these dudes. And they went, I'ma shoot this bitch. Monica didn't get to land a hit. If I hadn't changed the rules, Monica would have died in the first round.
I mean, yeah, that is what guns do. Guns are pretty brutal.
Yeah.
They also can't kill you in the first round. They can knock you into torpor.
I mean, with the sheer amount of damage the guns did, with 6 people, they all got like 5, 6.
They would have to all
each.
take. They would all have to take a lot of penalties to hit to effectively cut the neck off.
I mean, okay, that's fair. It wouldn't have killed Monica, but she would have gone straight into torpor. I'm
not just thinking. I'm the herald.
Yep.
I think the harpies could do with a uniform.
Oh God, that'd be hilarious.
Make it really bad.
I'm going to give you the traditional peace symbol and then give it to a patch that they wear on their arm. The
harpies are typically Toreador, right? Just make them sachets and flamboyant skirts and poofy arm things.
Except that one harpy who's a Nos for whatever reason.
Yeah, the head harpy is a Nos.
Or what we could even do is we could actually just go like, cool, you guys are Toreadors, renounce your clan symbol. That is going to be the symbol of the Harpies, and it's going to be basically a paramilitary unit for the court.
I feel like if you told the Toreador to renounce the Rose, their collective response would be, please, and we cannot stress this enough, but get absolutely fucked. And... In that case, it'll be a nice
subdued thing of it'll be a rose, but instead of the stem, it'll be a sword blade.
Yeah. Anyway,
Because
I'm gonna
that's actually not a vampire symbol, so the Second Inquisition wouldn't actually know what that means.
the what symbol? Sorry.
If I combined the rose with the sword, they wouldn't actually know what that means, especially because it would only apply to this specific organization with this.
No, but it would
what?
very much look like a gang symbol. It would look like a gang symbol.
That's basically
sometimes.
how we're going to survive. That's how
Yeah.
we're going to survive as the Camarilla. We need to pretend that we're
Yeah.
just regular gangs, because they're not going to go after regular gangs.
Yeah. Well, that's enough bullshitting from us, at least in the recording. So I'm going to stop the recording. Before I do that, my name's Deuce. I've been down. These nerds are joining me for an online game. I have a Patreon that you can go to at patreon.com/The Explorers League if you would like to support this show. If enough people if enough people sign up to Patreon, then I can eventually pay these nerds for their awesome RP and the awesome darkest hour speeches from Lauren and spontaneous makeout sessions from Timothy and all that.
Okay. That served a purpose.
It was tactical necking.
Anyway, nerds. Anyway, before you nerds get carried away again. That's about it really. Patreon.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can catch the proper this is a snapshot.
I'm recording. Oh.
Lol.
This Patreon exclusive.
This will be early access on Patreon.
Right.
Because it's a snapshot, so it'll be early access for a couple of days before people on YouTube can watch it. And if you want to catch one of the proper episodes live, you can go to twitch.tv/The Explorers League.
And we will be live same time next week as our first live session.
Yes, the 17th of July at 2 p.m. British Standard Time. Is it BST?
We're in British summertime.
British summertime. There you go. Time zones are hard, y'all.
In the summertime when the weather is hot.
Or about 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, so
Eastern
Whatever.
Standard. It's 9 p.m.
Hey.
Eastern Standard.
After that
What do you mean 9 p.m.? What are you talking about?
A.m.
A.M.
He said
9
p.m.
a.m.
A.M.
Anyway,
We
I
both
don't know.
fucked it up, okay?
I don't know who said p.m. first, but I
You
wish it was
said
p.m.
first. Shadow, you said p.m. first. You fucked me up.
You can catch us. You can catch this again next week.
Yeah,
for
you
more.
can catch the bullshit live
more
on
bickering.
twitch.tv
Same bad time.
Explorers League. What?
Same bad time.
Same bad channel.
Anyway, thank you for watching. We love all y'all.
Yar.
Art.
Heart and such. Bye.
And happy birthday.
Bye.
Bye.